Metrics in software development are best understood as signals, not targets. A signal helps teams understand what is happening in the system, much like a dashboard light in a car. It provides information so people can make better decisions. A target is something people are judged or rewarded on. When metrics become targets, their purpose shifts from learning to compliance. When teams treat metrics as signals, the focus is on insight and improvement. Metrics highlight patterns, trends, and anomalies in how work flows through the system. For example, a rising lead time signals a possible bottleneck or dependency issue. The metric does not say who is at fault, it simply points to an area that needs attention. Problems arise when metrics are turned into targets tied to performance reviews or bonuses. Once a number must be hit, behavior changes. Teams may optimize for the metric rather than the real outcome, such as customer value or quality. This is often described by Goodhart's law. When a measure becomes a target, it stops being a good measure. Velocity is a common example in agile teams. As a signal, velocity helps a team understand its delivery capacity and plan future work. As a target, it encourages story point inflation or cutting quality to go faster. The number may improve, but the underlying system often gets worse. The same pattern appears with quality metrics like defect counts. As a signal, defects reveal gaps in testing, unclear requirements, or technical debt. But as a target, teams may underreport issues or even delay logging defects just to protect their numbers. So the metric looks healthy while real quality, it actually declines. Flow metrics such as cycle time and work in progress are especially powerful signals. They show how smoothly work moves through the system and where it gets stuck. When used correctly, they spark conversations about limits, handoffs, and dependencies. But if they're used as targets, they push teams to rush work through stages without really addressing root causes. Metrics as signals encourage system-level thinking rather than just individual optimization. Software development is a complex system with many interdependencies. Signals help teams see how changes in one area affect the whole. Targets, though, often narrow attention to a single number, ignoring those broader impacts. Leadership behavior plays a critical role in how metrics are perceived. When leaders ask curious questions like, "What is this metric telling us?" teams feel safe to share reality. But when leaders ask, "Why didn't you hit the number?" teams learn to manage optics instead of outcomes. Psychological safety really determines whether metrics remain signals. Signals also work best when viewed as trends over time, not just as snapshots. A single data point rarely tells the full story. Trends reveal whether changes are actually improving or degrading the system. Targets tend to focus on short-term results, which can sometimes hide long-term damage. Using metrics as signals supports continuous improvement. Teams experiment, observe how the metrics respond, and learn what actually works. The goal is not to make the number look good, but to make the system work better. Improvement becomes a learning loop rather than just a compliance exercise. This approach aligns well with lean and agile principles that emphasize outcomes over outputs. Metrics guide conversations about value, flow, quality, and sustainability. They inform decisions without dictating behavior, so teams remain focused on delivering value rather than gaming numbers. In the end, metrics should serve the team and the organization, not control them. When treated as signals, they illuminate reality and enable better decisions. But when treated as targets, they distort behavior and hide problems. The real value of metrics lies in learning, not just hitting a number.